You suffer emotionally because you expect things reality never promised to give you. Fairness, loyalty, reciprocity, love, recognition, permanence. You expect these things, and when reality doesn't deliver them, you experience that gap as pain. And you think, why is life so painful? Why do people keep disappointing me? Why does nothing work out the way it should? Here's what Machiavelli understood. Life isn't painful. Your expectations are painful. People aren't disappointing. Your assumptions about what they owe you are disappointing. Things aren't working out wrong. Your belief about how they should work is creating the suffering. He called this a speditive cum fonte. Expectations is source. The source of all emotional pain, not reality, not people, not circumstances. Your expectations about what reality, people, and circumstances should be. The revolutionary truth is, you can't control reality. You can't control people. You can't control outcomes. But you can control expectations. And when you eliminate expectations, you eliminate the mechanism that creates emotional pain. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you this principle completely. Why expectations create suffering, how eliminating them ends emotional pain, and what your life looks like when you expect nothing and accept everything. Because freedom isn't getting what you want. It's wanting nothing from what you can't control. Let me show you the principle. Here's the principle in its most radical form. Expect nothing from anyone or anything you don't control. Not fairness from life, not loyalty from people, not permanence from circumstances, not reciprocity from relationships, nothing. Zero expectations. That's a speditive zero. Zero expectations. And Machiavelli understood, the person who expects nothing can never be disappointed, never be betrayed, never be hurt by others' choices. Because hurt requires expectation. No expectation, no hurt. Let me show you exactly how this works. How expectations create pain. Here's the mechanism of emotional pain. Something happens. Someone leaves. Someone betrays. Something fails. That's the event. The event itself is neutral. It's just reality happening. But you had an expectation about how things should be. They should stay. They should be loyal. This should succeed. That expectation created a mental model of how reality was supposed to unfold. When reality diverges from that mental model, you experience the gap as pain. The bigger the expectation, the bigger the gap when reality doesn't match. The bigger the gap, the more intense the pain. That's dolore cum divario, pain as gap. Gap between expectation and reality. No expectation means no gap. No gap means no pain. Real talk. Think about your deepest emotional pains. Someone you loved left. Someone you trusted betrayed you. Something you worked for failed. In every case, the pain wasn't just the event. It was the violation of expectation. They shouldn't have left. That's expectation. When they left anyway, you experience the gap between shouldn't have left and did leave as devastating pain. If you had no expectation that they would stay, their leaving would just be information. Oh, they left. Okay, people leave sometimes. That's reality. Disappointment maybe, not devastation. They shouldn't have betrayed me. That's expectation. When they betrayed anyway, you experience the gap between shouldn't betray and did betray as crushing pain. If you had no expectation of loyalty, their betrayal would just be data. Oh, they acted in their self-interest at my expense. That's human nature sometimes. Noted. Adjustment needed, not emotional collapse. The event would have happened either way. But your suffering was created entirely by the expectation that reality should have been different than it was. Where expectations come from. So where do these expectations come from? Why do you expect things reality never promised? 3 sources, and understanding them shows you why expectations are irrational. Source 1. You confuse desires with entitlements. You want people to be loyal, reasonable desire. But at some point, you converted that desire into expectation. People should be loyal. I deserve loyalty. Now desire became entitlement. And when reality doesn't deliver what you feel entitled to, you experience injustice. And injustice feels like pain. But Machiavelli would ask, who told you reality owes you loyalty? Who promised that people should behave according to your preferences? You want loyalty. Valid. But wanting something doesn't mean you're entitled to it. And treating desires as entitlements creates expectations that reality will violate. Guaranteed. Source 2. You generalize from positive experiences. Something good happens once. Someone treats you well. Something works out. Your brain generalizes. This is how things are. This is what I can expect going forward. But Machiavelli understood. Una volta non è sempre. Once is not always. One instance of good treatment doesn't create obligation for continued good treatment. One success doesn't guarantee future success. Generalizing from limited data creates expectations reality won't consistently meet. That relationship started wonderfully. You generalized. This is what this relationship is. This is what I can expect. Then the person changed, or revealed their actual character. And you're devastated. Not because they changed, because you expected permanence based on initial experience. Source 3. You believe in fairness. You were taught, be good and good things happen. Treat people well, and they'll treat you well. Work hard, and you'll succeed. That teaching created expectation. Reality operates on fairness principles. But Machiavelli observed, reality doesn't operate on fairness. Reality operates on power, incentives, circumstances, and randomness. Good people suffer. Bad people prosper. Hard work fails. Laziness succeeds. Constantly. Expecting fairness from an unfair universe creates constant disappointment because reality keeps violating the expectation. Not because reality is broken, because the expectation was never based on how reality actually works. Why zero expectations ends pain. Here's why eliminating expectations ends emotional pain. When you expect nothing, reality can only meet or exceed expectations. Never disappoint. Someone treats you well, exceeds zero expectation. Pleasant surprise, gratitude, not entitlement. Someone betrays you, meets expectation that people sometimes betray. Information, adjustment, not devastation. Something succeeds, exceeds expectation. Celebration, something fails. Meets expectation that things sometimes fail. Recalibration, you're emotionally untouchable. Not because you don't care, because you don't expect. Caring and expecting are different. You can care deeply about people and outcomes, while expecting nothing about how they'll behave or unfold. Machiavelli called this distacco emotivo, emotional detachment, not coldness, strategic emotional positioning. You engage fully, care deeply, invest meaningfully, but expect nothing about outcomes. That detachment protects you from the pain expectations create. What this looks like. Here's what zero expectations looks like in practice. Relationships. You love people deeply. You treat them well. You invest in connection. But you expect nothing about their continued presence, loyalty, or reciprocation. If they stay and reciprocate, beautiful. If they leave or betray, that's information about them, not violation of contract you imagined existed. Work. You work hard, you pursue goals, you apply skill and effort, but you expect nothing about outcomes. If you succeed, great. If you fail, that's data for adjustment, not cosmic injustice. Life. You participate fully. You try, you risk, you care. But you expect nothing about fairness, permanence, or how things should unfold. Life happens as it happens. You adapt to what is, not suffer about what should be. That's not pessimism, that's realism. Pessimism expects bad outcomes. Zero expectations means expecting nothing. Not good, not bad. Just accepting whatever emerges and responding strategically. Real talk. When I adopted zero expectations, my emotional suffering dropped to nearly zero. Not because my life became easier, because I stopped experiencing reality's unpredictability as personal violation. Someone I cared about left? People leave. That's reality. I'll miss them and move forward. Not. They shouldn't have left. This is devastating. Why does this keep happening to me? Something I worked on failed. Things fail sometimes. What can I learn? What's next? Not. This should have worked. I did everything right. This is unfair. Someone betrayed trust? People act in self-interest. I misjudge their trustworthiness. Adjust accordingly. Not. They should have been loyal. How could they do this? I'm devastated. Same events. Zero suffering. Because zero expectations. Nothing to violate. No gap between should and is. Just is. And strategic response to is. The paradox. Here's the paradox most people miss. When you expect nothing, you actually get more. Not because reality changes. Because your relationship with reality changes. People who expect loyalty often get betrayed. Because they invest in untrustworthy people before verifying trustworthiness. The expectation of loyalty makes them careless about selecting loyal people. People who expect nothing about loyalty verify trustworthiness over time. Protect themselves until loyalty is proven. End up with actually loyal people. Not because they expected loyalty, because they verified before trusting. People who expect success often fail, because expectation creates pressure. Pressure creates anxiety. Anxiety impairs performance. People who expect nothing about outcomes perform freely. No pressure, just skill application and adjustment. Often perform better. And when they fail, they learn and iterate without emotional collapse. That's paradosso delle aspettative, expectations paradox. Expecting things makes you less likely to get them. Expect nothing makes you more likely to receive them. Because expectation creates emotional interference. Zero expectations creates clarity and adaptability. So if zero expectations ends emotional pain, why don't people adopt this principle? Why do they cling to expectations that create suffering? 4 reasons, and understanding them is how you break free. Reason 1. You think expectations are standards. The first reason, you confuse expectations with standards. You think, if I expect nothing from people, I'm accepting poor treatment. If I expect nothing from myself, I'm accepting mediocrity. But Machiavelli would say, expectations and standards are completely different. Standards are about what you accept and enforce. Expectations are about what you assume will happen. You can have high standards without expectations. I have standard that people treat me respectfully. If they don't, I reduce access. But I don't expect that everyone will treat me respectfully. I verify and enforce, not expect and hope. You can have high standards for yourself without expecting specific outcomes. I have standard that I apply full effort. But I don't expect that full effort guarantees success. I control effort, not outcome. Standards are about boundaries and discipline. What you will and won't accept. What you will and won't do. Those are under your control. Enforce them. Expectations are about assumptions about what others will do or what outcomes will occur. Those aren't under your control. Releasing them isn't lowering standards. It's accepting reality. Reason 2. You think zero expectations means not caring. The second reason, you believe that if you expect nothing, you stop caring. That expecting nothing means emotional withdrawal. Becoming cold, disconnected, not investing. That's complete misunderstanding. Caring and expecting are independent. You can care deeply while expecting nothing. Real talk. I care deeply about people in my life. I invest emotionally. I'm generous with time and energy. But I expect nothing about their reciprocation. If they reciprocate, I'm grateful. If they don't, I adjust my investment accordingly. I cared. They didn't reciprocate. That's information, not betrayal of expectation I never had. I care about my work. I apply maximum effort. I pursue excellence. But I expect nothing about outcomes. Things might succeed, might fail. Caring about the work doesn't mean expecting specific results. I control effort and quality, not market response or timing. Machiavelli understood. Cura senza aspettativa, care without expectation, is freedom. You engage fully, but you're not emotionally dependent on specific outcomes. That's not coldness, that's strategic engagement. The coldness comes from expectations. When people expect reciprocity and don't get it, they become bitter. Close off. I expected loyalty and got betrayal. I'm never trusting again. That's coldness created by violated expectations. Zero expectations means I care about people. I trust people who prove trustworthy. I don't expect universal trustworthiness. So betrayal doesn't make me cold, just more discerning. Reason 3. You believe expectations motivate. The third reason, you think expectations create motivation. If I expect nothing, I won't try. Expectations drive me to achieve, to improve, to succeed. But Machiavelli would ask, do expectations actually motivate? Or do they create anxiety and pressure and fear of disappointment? Real motivation comes from desire, values, and purpose. I want to build this. This matters to me. This aligns with my values. That's intrinsic motivation. Sustainable, enjoyable. Expectations create extrinsic pressure. This should work. I should succeed. I need this outcome. That's anxiety-driven action. Unsustainable. Miserable. Pause here. Go to comments. What expectation creates the most emotional pain in your life? Just name it. Loyalty. Fairness. Reciprocity. Permanence. Naming it is first step to releasing it. The person motivated by desire pursues goals from interest and passion. Enjoys process. Adapts when outcomes don't match hopes. Continues because they want to. Not because they need specific outcome. The person motivated by expectations pursues goals from pressure. Suffers during process. Collapses when outcomes don't match expectations. Can't continue because they needed specific outcome that didn't materialize. Zero expectations doesn't eliminate motivation. It eliminates pressure. You're free to pursue what you want without anxiety about what should happen. That's more sustainable motivation, not less. Reason 4. You fear disappointment from having hope. The fourth reason, you think that if you don't expect things, you're being pessimistic, negative, not having hope, and that feels depressing. But zero expectations isn't pessimism. Pessimism expects bad outcomes. Zero expectations means expecting nothing. Not bad, not good, and being open to whatever emerges. Hope is fine. I hope this works out. I hope this person is trustworthy. I hope things improve. Hope is desire for positive outcome, not demand that positive outcome must occur. The problem is when hope becomes expectation. This will work out. This person will be trustworthy. Things will improve. Now you're setting yourself up for disappointment if reality diverges from expectation. Machiavelli would say, speranza senza aspettativa. Hope without expectation. Hope for positive outcomes, but expect nothing. Be prepared for any outcome. That way, hope doesn't create vulnerability to disappointment. You can hope someone stays while expecting nothing about their permanence. If they stay, hope fulfilled. If they leave, expectation wasn't violated because you had none. You're disappointed, maybe, not devastated. Those are the 4 reasons people resist zero expectations. They confuse expectations with standards. Think zero expectations means not caring. Believe expectations motivate. Fear losing hope. Eliminate these 4 confusions, and you can adopt the principle that ends emotional pain. Now let me show you exactly how to implement it. So how do you actually implement zero expectations? How do you eliminate the mechanism that creates emotional pain? Machiavelli's framework. Pratica di distacco. Practice of detachment. 4 steps. Practice daily until zero expectations becomes default. Step 1. Identify your current expectations. First step. Become conscious of what you're currently expecting. Most expectations are unconscious. You don't realize you're expecting until the expectation is violated and you feel pain. Write down your expectations in each domain. People. What do I expect from people? Loyalty, honesty, reciprocity, consistency. Outcomes. What do I expect from my efforts? Success, recognition, fairness, life. What do I expect from reality? Justice, permanence, things working out? That's consapevolezza delle aspettative. Expectation awareness. You can't release what you're not aware you're holding. Step 2. Challenge the basis of each expectation. Second step. For each expectation, ask, what evidence do I have that reality owes me this? Who promised this? Why do I believe this should happen? Most expectations collapse under examination. You realize, I have no evidence reality owes me loyalty. People act according to their nature and incentives, not my preferences. I have no evidence outcomes should be fair. Reality operates on causation and randomness, not justice. That's decostruzione razionale, rational deconstruction. Most expectations are irrational beliefs you've never questioned. Question them, and they lose power. Step 3. Replace expectations with observations. Third step. Instead of expecting, observe. Replace. This should happen with, I'll see what happens and respond accordingly. Not, they should be loyal. Instead, I'll observe their behavior over time. If they demonstrate loyalty, I'll trust more. If they betray, I'll adjust. Not, this should succeed. Instead, I'll apply skill and effort. I'll see what outcome emerges. I'll adapt based on results. That's osservazione invece di aspettativa, observation instead of expectation. You're watching reality unfold, not demanding it unfold a specific way. Step 4. Practice emotional detachment from outcomes. Fourth step. When something happens, good or bad, practice separating event from emotion. Observe your emotional response. Don't act on it immediately. Create space between feeling and reaction. Someone leaves. Feel the sadness. Don't react from sadness. Observe. I feel sad. That's normal. They left. That's reality. What's my strategic response now that this information is known? Something fails. Feel the disappointment. Don't collapse into it. Observe. I feel disappointed. That's understandable. It failed. That's data. What do I learn? What's next? That's separazione emotiva, emotional separation. You feel emotions. You don't become them. You observe them. You don't let them control your response. That separation is freedom from emotional pain dominating you. Real talk. This practice takes time. Years of expectations don't disappear in days. But every time you catch yourself expecting, pause, challenge it, replace with observation. Over weeks and months, zero expectations becomes natural. And when it does, emotional suffering decreases dramatically. Not because life becomes easier. Because you stop creating suffering through expectations reality was never going to meet. Here's the Machiavellian principle that ends emotional pain forever. Expect nothing from anyone or anything you don't control. Not fairness, not loyalty, not reciprocity, not permanence. Nothing. Because emotional pain is the gap between expectation and reality. No expectation means no gap. No gap means no pain. You're free. So here's what you do starting today. Step 1. Identify one major expectation creating pain in your life. Write it down. I expect loyalty from people. I expect fairness from life. I expect my efforts to succeed. Step 2. Challenge it. What evidence exists that reality owes you this? None. Release it. Step 3. Replace expectation with observation. I'll observe what happens and respond strategically. Not demand what should happen and suffer when it doesn't. Step 4. When events occur, separate emotion from response. Feel what you feel. Observe it. Don't react from it. Respond strategically after observation. One expectation. 1 week. Practice releasing it. Machiavelli understood. The person who expects nothing cannot be disappointed, cannot be betrayed, cannot be emotionally destroyed by others' choices or reality's unpredictability. You can still care deeply, love fully, engage completely. Just expect nothing about outcomes. That's not coldness. That's freedom. Freedom from emotional pain created by expectations. Reality never promised to fulfill. Apply zero expectations and end emotional suffering forever.